What happened? Day 2 of the NPFL on Lake Eufaula. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. If you're new, my name is Steve Chapman. Stage 4, National Professional Fishing League, is happening right now on Lake Eufaula. They are currently in the weigh-in with just a few anglers left. But what happened on day 2? Before we get into that, day 1 was canceled due to weather. They had 5 camera boats on day 2 with 5 elite anglers, and they took it from their Angler of the Year points. Remember, they're prohibiting forward-facing sonar. They're not allowed to use live sonar in their tournaments. They have over 110 anglers competing for the world's biggest trophy and $100,000. Now, if you missed today, they'll have the finale tomorrow on Friday. You missed a good tournament. Great? No. But it was very good. They had a lot of connectivity issues again. And there was many times when there was just anglers casting. There wasn't a lot of... It's unfortunate the anglers that they picked had slow days. That's the truth of the matter. They didn't burn it down. They had good days, but it wasn't what... you want to see consistent catches. And the guys that they had cameramen on were at places where either you got a gray screen or they just had some issues. But hopefully tomorrow with Wes Logan and whoever's in the top 10 or top 5 will have better days and it'll make for better fishing. Caleb Koopel had a cameraman on his boat. If you don't know about Caleb, he is incredibly consistent. And quite honestly, he was fantastic to watch today. He articulated his strategy, what he was looking for, and how he was going to fish the day. And when you don't have any commentators telling you what's going on or speaking, and you just have the angler, which I prefer, no offense, I want to hear how the angler is strategizing on what they're looking for. And Caleb did a fantastic job doing that today. And as I said, they were going back and forth through Hackney, who's an amazing angler, and the reception was just awful. It was horrible. That isn't the NPFL's fault at all. He's just in a spot where it's hard to get cell phone service. And it really seemed like at about the 12 o'clock time, Eastern Standard Time, that the anglers were struggling. And while Wes Logan was on fire, he didn't have a cameraman on him. But I wish that if there was a way to move the cameraman to the angler who's on fire. That's something that probably needs to happen at some point. But they are live. They are the only true live tournament that's going on, or streaming live. They're not on a tape delay. And we need to realize that. And while they're trying to do their best when they get the gray screen of death, there isn't much that they can do other than switch off and hopefully go to an angler that has a signal. But the fishing was real slow. It was methodical. And at times, it was boring. But really, when nobody's catching fish, we can all admit fishing is boring. What was fun about today is that the chat on YouTube, on their live stream, works really well. You can talk to other anglers or fans on their YouTube channel. But there was very little commentary. There was very little commercials, which I love. And the chat on YouTube was probably, no offense, more interesting than the fishing at times. And they had about 25 to 2,700 people watching streaming at 12 o'clock. Early in the morning, it was probably 800. But they're consistently making baby steps to make sure that the platform is what they want. And I appreciate that. But you can really tell, and I talked to somebody before the tournament, the anglers who are full-time anglers versus the anglers who are not. The anglers who are the working man anglers, because at one point in time, that's what the NPFL kind of backed. They were the working man's tour. Now with this influx of 20 elite and BPT anglers, you're seeing the cream rise. And those anglers that are full-time anglers are just consistently better in most cases than a majority of the rest of the guys. And that's not trying to take any shots at anybody, really. That's just being truthful. And you can tell the difference of the anglers who are fishing. Like last weekend, Wes Logan fished last weekend and won the tournament on elites. And his momentum is now surging him in this NPFL on Lake Eufaula. There's something to be said for that momentum and being a professional week in and week out versus me. They're going to be a better angler than us. And we can't take that personal. It's just the truth. But at some point in time, those anglers that have full-time jobs doing something else, painter or worker, whatever it is, and they're getting smashed week in and week out by elite anglers, at some point, they need to make a decision on what they're going to do. And I already know several anglers that aren't coming back next year because they feel like it isn't a working man's crew, and they also feel like there's some favoritism from some of the crew. And they don't get zero publicity. And I really hope that they do well over the next few tournaments so that they can live up to their responsibilities to their sponsors. But that's a whole nother story. Day 2 was a really good day. Day 3 should be great. Hopefully great. Now the weigh-in's been going on since about or a little after 2, and here it is 5:01 Eastern Standard Time. Now, the top 10, as it happens right now, because I'm trying to do this and still get it up in a reasonable time, but it looks like there's just a few anglers left. And here's your top 10 after day 1, even though there's still a few anglers trying to weigh in. In 10th, Derek Leetonen. Sorry if I said that name wrong. 9th, Timothy Wilson. Tied for 7th is Gerald Swindle and Harmon Davis. 6th is Chad Marlier. 5th is KJ Queen. 4th is Tommy Biffle. 3rd is Corey Casey. 2nd is Brandon Cobb. And in 1st place is Wes Logan, who won last week on the elites. So Wes is having himself 2 fantastic weeks of fishing. So that's what we're looking at right now with just a few anglers left. But day 3 technically will be on the NPFL.com and their YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it, check it out tomorrow. They broadcast from 8 to 1 Central Standard Time with Luke and Fat Cat. Did you watch it? What did you think? Are you going to watch it tomorrow? Comment below and tell me what you think. Thanks to all the new subscribers and members and everyone who's interactive on the channel. I really do appreciate it. But do me a favor, if you're not a subscriber, hit that button, hit that like button also, and welcome to the team and family. Remember, take a kid fishing, tight lines, cheers, and get your fish on.